I mean, this is literally like I'm shooting on a black magic.
I said I don't, to be honest. You could either post to Twitter or I can fly out there and do it.
My editing process, do my best to show a little bit of that here.
Yeah, it's just been nothing but stress all day.
So Sony announced not long ago that they are coming out with B-RAW for the FX6, and the way it's going to work is with this right here, Blackmagic monitor. So it has a built-in SD card, and essentially this is going to allow the FX6 to record B-RAW to this monitor, which is literally phenomenal. One of the biggest things I've wanted for the FX6 camera that I thought for me and my workflow would make it perfect is the addition of some kind of RAW format. B-RAW is great. I had a Blackmagic camera for a while. I love B-RAW. I love the capability of B-RAW. And because I use DaVinci, it's going to work seamlessly whenever I'm trying to edit. I do not plan on using this for every single shoot. The M1 monitor that I have on there will probably stay on there most of the time unless I just absolutely fall in love with this monitor. But the main use case for this monitor and the B-RAW capability will be on like other productions, or let's say I'm shooting a documentary or something like that. Having the capability to make changes afterwards is just amazing. So that is kind of the use case for this. When I do like big esports events or something and I'm just like the guy shooting the whole event, I'll probably stick with the monitor that I have now. But like I say, we'll see. I may end up switching to this full time. I got a good deal on it. It was $500. This is the 12G SDI version. He included the cage, couple cables and stuff, but I'm about to put it on the FX6 and boot it up for the first time and just kind of see what it's like. I didn't realize it had a mini SDI cable. I thought it was just like regular SDI. So I can put an SD card in here and I have different capability shooting. I mean, this is literally like I'm shooting on a Blackmagic. So I just spent the last like 30-40 minutes trying to figure this out. So I got the monitor to work, obviously. The problem is I thought that there was a trigger, a start-stop trigger, to where when I press record on the FX6, it would automatically start recording into this. And there's even a setting built into this, but apparently the FX6 is one of the few cameras that doesn't have that functionality, which is so annoying, because now it's like if the monitor is up here, I'd have to essentially reach up and hit record on the monitor. But again, this isn't really going to be for run and gun, I don't think. I'm not 100% sure the functionality I'm going to use this for just yet. I just knew I wanted it to have for when they do announce the, B-RAW. So we'll see what I decide. The power of assertion is crazy. As some of you may know, if you follow my Instagram, Film Club Productions, you'll know that I shot a Clayster's announcement Call of Duty player for Team Falcons a couple weeks ago. They reached out to me again, and basically he said, "Hey Jared, how are you? Hope you're well. Do you know any videographers, photographers that are in LA to shoot our Falcons in the esports awards this Thursday?" I said, "I don't, to be honest. You could either post to Twitter or I can fly out there and do it." The reason I said it like that was obviously I don't want him to post to Twitter and find somebody else. I want him to fly me out and do it. To be able to go to the esports awards would be sick. Now here's where I messed up a little bit. I thought it was going to be multiple days and following somebody or something. I should have asked more questions, but he asked me how much would I charge for it. I broke it down to $500 for a day of travel, so when I travel in or out, and then $900 for a day of shooting. Turns out I'm going to get in there on the same day, so I'll get in there on Thursday, shoot that day, fly out on Friday. So really I'm only going to be making $1,400 plus like travel reimbursement and stuff, which is not amazing, but it's really not terrible. I want to keep the connection with this org, and so if I can just kind of keep my hand in their pocket, then that could be well for me for future events. So I have a possibility of flying to LA this week, making $1,400 and strengthening a connection with an org. I'm not upset about that at all, especially right now where things are kind of slow.
It's taking place at our studio in Fort Worth.
Heck yeah. I actually completely forgot I had that shoot tonight, and I was getting ready to book my flight for tomorrow once I get confirmation. The LA shoot is kind of stressing me out because it's like a black tie event. I don't own a suit. I don't own a tie. I don't own any of that. Like, these are my dress shoes. So I'm waiting for them to give me confirmation, and I'm waiting to figure out like what all I can film and everything. Like when I do go, I think I'm just going to take the A7S III and that's it, because they just want some photos and some videos. So I'm going to keep it way low key, but I'm hoping I hear back soon because I got to book the flight, book the hotel, figure out when I'm supposed to be there, figure out what I'm supposed to wear, what I'm supposed to take, all of that. So starting to think it's a little more trouble than it's worth.
So I have had some people asking about my editing process, and I'm gonna do my best to show a little bit of that here. So I've started cutting up some of the stuff that I've been working on with the gym for this week's content. So the first thing I'll do is I'll put everything on the timeline, and then I go down the line and just start sectioning out and editing each piece of content. So for instance, this first one is him kind of talking about if you're ready to work out, here's what you can expect if you come to D1 training.
Guys, welcome to D1 Training Mesquite.
So obviously what you see, there's no transitions, there's no B-roll, there's no music, there's no color grading. And that's because the first thing I'm gonna do is get all of these sectioned out, cut out all the bloopers, anything I don't need, and then I'll go back through, add all the B-roll. As you can see, a lot of this footage right here, a lot of this is just B-roll. Now, let's say I had everything done, cut to where I needed it. Essentially, what I'll be doing now is going through here. The first thing I like to do, which I know a lot of people don't, is I just like to get the color grade on. So the LUT that I use is the Eastman RM FX6. It looks pretty clean to me. And then I just go through and apply it to all of them. I'll make little changes if I need to, but since this is mostly social content, it looks fine as is. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add music. I've got a couple songs already. I don't have a problem kind of reusing songs since these are all just kind of different ads. But you'll have one that's kind of hype. You have something that's a little more low-key, chill, you know, a little bit more warm. So for this one, I'm gonna use this kind of chill song. A lot of the times, all I'm doing is looking for moments that make sense for maybe a music drop, or sometimes the music may just be in the background enough where you can't even hear it. But for this, I essentially want this to kind of hit when he starts talking. A lot of the times, -25 seems to be kind of a sweet spot.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to D1 Training Mesquite. If you're an adult looking to lose some weight, get into shape, let me show you what we got for you guys. Here at D1.
So these mics that I'm using here are the DJI Lav Mic 2s. They were going straight into the camera, which I think sound great. And then I'm also going to add voice isolation to all of them, which is built right into DaVinci. Usually I set it to about 35, just something to clean up just a little bit. Sometimes they have music going, sometimes they have the AC going. So the biggest thing I could say is like, just don't complicate the process. Not every one of these pieces of content is gonna be your next like Mona Lisa. All I need to do is start adding some B-roll. So we have some good B-roll of, you know, this guy who is a Texas Ranger working out. So I'll take some of that. Also have Control X as link and unlink. So if I want to unlink all these clips, Control X gets rid of all of it. And then if I want to do link it back. So he's talking about, you know, hitting your fitness goals, doing all that. So we're going to come over here. So I do like to go back and forth. I want people to see who's talking. So I'll show that. And now he's talking about, you know, different classes. So I'm going to show some of that here. So this was good footage of the, you know, this adult class working out. So I'll throw this in, kind of see what it looks like.
And you can expect your workout to be split up in 5 major components. Workout to be split up in 5 major components, being your warm-up, your performance, your strength, your core.
So am I saying this is the right way to edit? Absolutely not. If I was doing like a more professional edit, like a big edit, a documentary or something, I would obviously have my like selects on a different timeline, my string out. But 9 times out of 10, what I'm gonna do on here, I'm gonna go through, cut out my sections, and then I'm gonna have all my B-roll be on its own timeline whenever I get done and have all that sorted out that I'll pull through. This project will always be the project I work out of for D1 training. As far as like exporting it out, essentially what I'll do, let's say I had 2 videos that were ready to go. In DaVinci, you can have your render range right here, set to in or out. I render these out in 1920. I add to the render queue, and then let's say this one was ready to go. Same thing, add to the render queue, and then whenever they're all ready to be rendered, you just shift select everything you want, and then hit render, and it'll basically go through and render all of them out. If you have any questions, let me know. Would definitely be more than happy to kind of show more of this off.
So I'm trying to figure out what to do with all this footage I have over this year. This year I've been able to travel to crazy places. I've shot the best footage I've ever shot in my life, especially when it comes to esports. And typically I would make like a year-end recap video of just kind of all the things I did and stuff, but this is like the first year that I wasn't like shooting and then going back and editing. So I'm really kind of just completely lost on where to even begin. I'd be curious to hear, you know, how you go about creating like a demo reel. I want an esports demo reel. I want to show off like some of the best footage I got and everything. Just don't even know where to start. This LA shoot tomorrow is killing us. We are trying to like put all the pieces together. It's 4:30 right now. I'm about to head to Fort Worth to get to my shoot for tonight. That's not until 10. Then I got to get up in the morning, get to LA. I have about 3 hours to get dressed and ready for the event that I don't have a ton of details on. I don't really know a ton of the specifics, if I'm being honest. I was told I could bring a camera and I have a media pass. I just don't know what. So I'm taking the A7S III. On top of that, with it being a black tie event, I don't own any. So while I'm at the shoot, my wife has to go with my son and try to find something for me to take tomorrow. This is also eating into all of the cost. So I'm only making like $1,400 on this shoot to begin with, but she's probably gonna end up spending like $400 or $500 on the clothing. But I guess at least I'll have it for other events that may come up or whatever. Hour and a half later, and I'm finally pulling up to the shoot. I was really hoping to get here about 5:30, and it is 5:50 right now. So call time isn't until 6. I'm still here early, but kind of a bummer. Wanted to meet everybody and kind of, you know, get a lay of the land and stuff. But hopefully I have a few minutes to kind of cruise around and show off the studio space here that George has. So this is like their massive cyc wall slash LED wall. So actually there's only going to be 4 people we're filming today, so they're just going to have me on photos. I'm about to de-rig this and just make it a photo camera. And that's how simple it is to rig and de-rig this camera. So this is definitely going to be a lot easier to take photos with.
There's no obstacle too big for a woman who knows her worth. My voice is dry.
You need to get a drink, then. Do you need a water?
No, get the garbage out.
Yeah. Oh. It's pretty cool.
Yes. Great job.
These are sick. Like retract. We got 1, 2, 3 Blackmagic cameras. Same thing here. With essentially one set here, and then a whole other set there, and they look great. Powered by 200Xs, 200Ds. All of these flats are on rollers, so you can move them around and use this entire space however you want with any of these backgrounds. Like traveling can be so stressful sometimes because you're trying to figure out what time you're supposed to get to where you're supposed to go, and I got here like an hour and a half early, but I guess on the bright side I do have time for the best burgers from a fast food chain, Whataburger. Fight me on that one. This whole thing has been incredibly stressful anyways, just trying to get everything together, but thanks to my wife, we got everything we need, so I gotta get there. I'm hoping I have time to get a haircut because my hair is horrible right now. I need to trim, and I don't have anything to do any of that, so hopefully I can find a barbershop to handle that. If not, you know, it is what it is. I basically have 3 hours from when I land to when the shuttle takes off from my hotel to take me to the event. We made it to the hotel, and I was able to get a haircut, thankfully. Couldn't get a full haircut. They only had like 15 minutes, and I said, just please do anything to make me not have a mop on my head. So they hooked it up. I think she did pretty good for the time she was given. Now I'm going to take a single razor blade that I have and try to trim up my beard as best as I possibly can. It is now 2:07, so I have about 50 minutes before the shuttle takes off. Yeah, it's just been nothing but stress all day. I'm going to try to vlog as much as I can. Obviously, I'll be shooting the whole time, but I would love to show it because I think this is like one of the coolest opportunities, especially for my niche being esports and it's the Esport Awards. Like, this is going to be so much fun, I hope. I'm going to try to do the best I can to network tonight and just be where I got to be, but also I want to be respectful of, you know, people are here to have a good time and maybe they don't want to talk business and stuff. But I'm going to take a shower and get ready, and hopefully they have food when I get there because I am starving. Too lazy to get the Osmo out, but here's the final fit. I'm like 99% sure I've never worn like a full suit, which this is technically, I guess, still not a full suit, but my wife did great. This is pretty much on par with what I would want, just all black. Here's the rig, because I wanted some photos, I think, and I wanted to keep it low-key, light to carry around. And the goal today is also to try to get some stuff that would be cool for the portfolio. So hopefully I can get some dope stuff for this event, make some connections. We'll see what happens. It's about 10:30. Just got out of the shower, about to crawl into bed. I didn't get to film hardly anything like I was hoping to. There was exactly 0 places for me to put my stuff down. I never could put my camera down, or my backpack, until we got into the ceremony portion. And then once we were in there, there was lots of live cameras kind of running around and just covering the whole event and stuff. So I didn't want to be just like vlogging and doing all that, but I am going to show footage that I captured at the event, kind of give you an idea, a better idea of kind of what the event looked like and stuff. I genuinely have always dreamed of getting an esport award one day, but they ex-nayed the category that I could have ever won, which was, I believe, photo of the year and then content piece of the year or something like that. They got rid of it, and so my hopes of ever getting an esport award are pretty much crushed. I don't think I'll ever get one, which is whatever now. But being able to go to the event and just kind of see it in person was pretty cool. Way out of my element, my comfort zone. I don't wear suits and ties or anything like that, so it was cool. I do think it was kind of a big glorified hangout. The awards and stuff were just, it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of funky. But it was still good as far as business goes. I got to hang out with the team that hired me, got to meet the CEO and all that. And, you know, they basically were telling me how much they love my work, how much they love the Clayster video I did a couple weeks ago, and that their team is now housed in Dallas. And so they should have a lot more work coming my way, which is just phenomenal. I got to meet a couple other esport org owners and stuff, and you know, they were all asking me about going to COD events and shooting COD events and doing this and doing that. So I think things will really start to liven up once we get out of the funk here that is the holidays. If I could just work out of an airport, I would get so much more done. I am so productive when I'm working at these places. Maybe I just need to start hitting up some coffee shops or something, because there's like something about like the ambiance or whatever, but I just like will sit here and get so much done. It's one of the reasons I actually love getting to the airport early. I'll get here like 2 hours early, no problem, if not even earlier, because I'll get a bite to eat, get some caffeine, and then I'll just sit back, do some work. But my flight takes off in a few minutes, so I'm about to pack up and get out of here and get home. Just wanted to say there won't be a vlog next week. It's Thanksgiving week this week. I'm trying to spend as much time with my family as possible. Take some time to relax, chill, play some games, just whatever. Keep this week light. But yeah, just want to say happy Thanksgiving from my family to you. Thank you for watching the vlogs, and I should have a Q&A out next week, so be on the lookout for that.